Okay, so as promised, we have our 2 mac and cheese. So which version is this?
So this is your traditional, well, I should say my traditional mac and cheese with the bechamel roux sauce. Uh, I always liked it. It's gooey. Mac and cheese has to be gooey. And I've put a little bit of panko breading on the top with some Parmesan cheese just to get a little crust going. Use 3 different cheeses.
Ooh.
Gotta have your sharp, or depending on what kind of cheddar you like, but I like extra sharp cheddar because I'm gonna mix it with the what's the Havarti?
Ooh.
And Havarti is a very creamy, light cheese, but it melts well. And then just because you have to cheat a little bit or just have a trick, I do use the processed Velveeta that comes in the box.
We're not selling healthiness on this episode.
and I do use half and half for my milk to get that real creaminess going. So that's the traditional, in my world, the traditional mac and cheese. Please.
So do I get to try it now?
Go for it.
Yes. Have you tried it? You have to try it too.
I have not tried it.
What if it's poison? All right. I like this for the show. We get to just eat out of the container. So, You
like it? Nice. I can't wait to try a bite.
Delicioso. The breadcrumbs on top add that nice crispiness, and it's still, like cheesy, creamy inside. I will say this guy has tried mac and cheese like this every year, and it's always a little bit different. So I've gotten to test taste, and some years it can be dry. This year, not the case. Excellent job. I might be voting for this one.
Try different cheeses. The Velveeta always helps, like I said. And
one more bite.
I have to say about milk is great, but half and half is better.
And did you say there's Parmigiano on top too, or just the panko making the crispiness?
So in the panko, I shredded some Parmigiano Reggiano. Reggiano? How do you say it? Parmigiano
Reggiano.
There you go.
Something like that. Oh my God. This is amazing. We could just cut the show right now and eat this for dinner. So enjoy.
Bye. The mac and cheese is one of those things where you can do so many things with it, and I have tested many different types of mac and cheese. What I want to do today is try 2 different methods of making a gooey mac and cheese. One is the bechamel method, where you're basically creating a roux. A roux is nothing more complicated than a French way of saying butter, flour, and some sort of milk. I'm using half and half because it's Thanksgiving and let's get fat. So that's actually creating the sauce, that gooey sauce for the mac and cheese. Another easier method, and sometimes it's a little bit cheating, but it's using just plain old evaporated milk and forgetting about the whole roux thing. And this sometimes works better on just a stovetop mac and cheese instead of a baked mac and cheese. But I want to test both of them out today, and plus then we get some extra mac and cheese before Thanksgiving. Besides that, what's important in the mac and cheese? The cheeses. Obviously, it's mac and cheese. I like to use a couple of different types of cheeses. One, you got to have your yellow cheddar. Here I got sharp only because that's the only thing they had at the store. You could use mild, medium. I wanted to use sharp also for the reason that I'm going to have Havarti, which is a light, creamy, really good melting cheese. And just as a little gooey cheat sheet, your Velveeta, or I just got the store brand. It's the same thing. It's a processed cheese, but it's Thanksgiving. As long as you got some fresh cheeses, throw in a little processed cheese, it really gives it that ooey gooey thing. All right. And so your cheeses are important. Most important, do not buy the pre-shredded cheese. There is some element that they put on that cheese to keep it moist. and it messes with the taste and it's not good for you. So I already took a block of this and shredded it yesterday. Comes from your pasta, traditional mac and cheese, your elbow pasta, but you can use, the swirly one, all the different pastas, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. But I think this one holds well. It's got the tube in it, plus it's got the swirls on the outside, so it really holds that melted cheese well. Some people use an onion, probably the only thing you really need. If you're going to put any kind of vegetable in there, an onion, maybe a little garlic, but everything has garlic in it in the Thanksgiving meal, so I just avoid the garlic in the mac. And then I like to top it, before I put on the baking into the oven. Obviously, with all the melted cheese in there, some shredded cheese on top, and then good old panko. Panko is a Japanese or Asian breadcrumb that kind of cooks better than your traditional breadcrumbs. So I just have to pour panko right on top before it goes into the oven. And that's pretty much how I'm going to test out my two different mac and cheeses, one with the roux and one with just pure evaporated milk. So the box says for al dente pasta, it's 7 minutes. The reason I'm going to do al dente, maybe do 6 minutes, is because obviously this is going to go into hot cheeses, and it's going to go into the oven, and you don't want to overcook your pasta at this step because it's all going to be a big mush. You want to have that texture. So be careful, test it out, make sure it's al dente, maybe a little bit less than al dente, because it's going to have other cooking steps going forward. All right, little chef tip. Here we are making our roux, basically our bechamel sauce or cheese sauce for the mac and cheese. I've already started with a stick of butter, which everything needs butter. And then I like to put some onions in there. I use white onions because it has a lighter flavor. And then you let that butter and the onions melt down until the onions get translucent. And then you want your all-purpose flour. Now with the flour, you gotta have a whisk. You gotta make sure you're dropping the flour just very slowly. And keep whisking, keep whisking, keep whisking. You don't want that flour to clump up because that's when you get that grainy mac and cheese. A little bit of salt, not too much salt. And for one stick of butter, you just want to put a half a cup of all-purpose flour. But keep spinning, keep spinning, keep spinning. Stir it constantly. And notice I have this on the low medium heat. I don't want to burn my butter. Eventually you want to keep spinning this around until you have a very nice smooth sauce. And you don't want to over salt, because the other thing is you're going to have cheeses in there that's going to have contain salt, obviously. So really, as you all know, the number one thing is watch your salt content in any dish, because you can always add salt, but you can't take away salt. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, before we end this episode, I must know what you are grateful for, besides, of course, having the best wife in the entire universe.
I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my family and their good health.
Boring answer, but true.
I'm grateful for being able to live on the beach.
Yes.
And see that beautiful ocean and skyline every day, which changes, and it's like having a painting in the backyard. So I'm grateful just for being here and being present and living my life with you.
Aw, that's so sweet. I second that. Like to know what I'm grateful for as well. Yeah. I would say the same things. Of course, my family, my amazing friends, my wonderful husband, and this community. I love getting to interview and meet so many interesting businesses and people. So thank you to everyone who has come on the show. I'm grateful for you. Also, I like to showcase local businesses. This Thanksgiving dress, which I bought recently, is from Downtown Divas in downtown Melbourne,
That's
Florida.
a beautiful dress. It's so dope. I love it.
Thank you. They have very unique, very different things. And I told Neeraj, similar to a boutique that you would find in Winter Park.
Oh, that's true.
So definitely elevating our area. So
or
check
even
them
Soho,
out.
New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why stop in Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Thank you so much for watching.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.